Over under on Lamar Jackson receiving yards.
No.
How many videos are we going to start with the same abuse?
Thank you, Ryan, for the suggestion.
Kidding.
Thank you for the suggestion, Ryan. We're going to do Joe Flacco over under 10 touchdown passes this year. Because all that comes along with that, does he start enough games to do it? When he does play, is he productive?
Certainly not.
He's hovered around 20 for the last 2 years. Mal, let's start with you. You're from Baltimore.
I am, yeah. This is the easiest under I've ever picked.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't think that...
How much under?
How far below 10 is 0? No, I'm just kidding. That's
Tough math.
I just don't think that Joe Flacco is capable of being a productive NFL quarterback anymore. And that's like honestly not like troll shade. It's just verifiable fact.
So let me ask you a question. He was drafted in 2008. We're seeing quarterbacks who are 39, 40, 41 be very productive.
Right.
This isn't an age thing.
At any point in Joe Flacco's career, has he given you one iota of proof that he deserved to be in any conversation along with those quarterbacks?
No, what I'm saying is what happened
because you're talking about
him.
like Tom Brady.
Where he won a Super Bowl as Joe Flacco won a Super Bowl.
Well, Ray Lewis and God won a Super Bowl, and Joe Flacco happened to be on the field.
But here's my question: is just
Jacoby Jones won a Super Bowl.
What happened to Joe Flacco? Was he just always bad in your opinion?
No, I don't think that's a fair characterization. He's fine. Like, he's fine. He's never been elite. He's never been worthy of the contract. Yeah. And also, they have never built a sustainable, consistent offense around him. He's had a new coordinator every time he trims his unibrow hair.
No, that's not true. He's got Marty Morningwig for
now he does.
Years.
I can't wait to see what Morningwig does with Lamar.
It's just funny to me that it's like we finally settled on a coordinator.
And that's who it is.
Morningwig, and we're going to stay on pat.
Yeah, so but that's part of it. Is still the team is inherently conservative by design, and so there's always going to be a cap on what the offensive production is going to be for the quarterback. Then you factor in Flacco's degradation over the last few seasons, and then you factor in the fact that they drafted Lamar Jackson in the first round, and it's inconceivable to me that Flacco would be starting for the entire year, either because of the push from Lamar or because of his own production. I just don't think he keeps the job for more than a few weeks. I really don't.
I think
that's what I want to believe.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. The issue with how you're sort of approaching this bet is that you're approaching it from the perspective of what you want to have happen.
Yeah, but I'm freely owning that.
In your heart, which, guys, if you're going to gamble, don't gamble with your emotions. I would go over,
play fantasy football.
Because I want to see you suffer, but because of what you just said. The offense is going to be inherently conservative.
I agree with
that. The NFL is inherently conservative. The conservative bet here is that Joe Flacco stays the starter. And just by virtue of him being on the field, he'll end up throwing
NFL coaches
touchdowns.
Fear change. And to go all in on Lamar Jackson in September or October, anytime before Joe Flacco gets 10 touchdown passes, I feel like that's a little bit overdoing it. I think we're looking around Thanksgiving for Lamar. Guys, first coach fired. Always a good one. Dirk Cutter leads the way in Tampa Bay. Hugh Jackson behind him. A couple other guys on the board. Jason Garrett is involved. For some reason.
You said that with such disappointment in your voice.
Jason Garrett is involved.
I don't know about that bet. Guys, if you were to guess, Marvin Lewis, all those guys are on the board there. Vance Joseph, absolutely. He's right behind Hugh Jackson.
I think this has to be Dirk Cutter. Like, I think with these, you want to look for the better odds and return on investment.
Have a built-in excuse? He didn't draft Jameis Winston.
He's got a built-in excuse, but it just seems like a very bad situation.
What I'm saying is if the season is a complete disaster.
But the thing is, he's already had that, right? So you get that excuse once. They were the most, or certainly one of the most hyped teams heading into last season, and they were a debacle every week. They could barely win a game. What did they go, 5-11?
Yeah.
And you can't fire Jameis Winston, so you fired Dirk Cutter.
You can definitely fire Jameis Winston. Can and will.
Can and should.
Yeah, I'm looking at Vance Joseph for this because John Elway went out and said he felt like the Broncos were soft. And that's about, in football jargon speak, that is the worst thing you can say. With Joseph, I just feel like Elway wanted to make a move in the past, and he didn't out of patience. And if they start 1-6 or 2-5, something like that, I think that Elway, he's already impatient. He already likes sort of the competitiveness of that's why all his contract negotiations are always so tense. He loves like shaking things up and being competitive. And I think he would love to just fire a guy in October.
Sounds chill. Sounds like a pleasant workplace. What do you guys think about the situation in Cleveland? Because, I mean, certainly we're getting an interesting glimpse into the dynamic every week on Hard Knocks.
Everything about the Browns situation suggests that Hugh Jackson will get fired, especially since it seems like...
they give him...
It seems like
John Dorsey give him 17 weeks?
That's the thing. It's like they're on an upswing based on the players they're bringing in, drafting a ton of great young talent over the past couple of years and then sort of buttressing it with some veteran players over the offseason. And Hugh Jackson seems like he could really screw that up. But
seems like, yeah.
We need to then realize that, like, if we're giving the Browns credit of being intelligent about the way they're going about it, there's a reason that Hugh Jackson is there right now. And I think if they were going to get rid of Hugh Jackson, like, why would he
do it in the offseason?
Exactly. Yeah. Why not do it in the offseason? Or wouldn't they have gotten rid of him already if they were
there is a point at which there's just too many moving parts. I think the biggest red flag or thing to monitor will just be how much he's fiddling with the quarterback position every week. Because if he's doing what he did last year, where it's not only week after week changes, but within the game, multiple changes, you can't do that with a number one overall draft.
I think they have good quarterbacks now. That's the difference.
Right. So he won't feel that compulsion.
And Deshaun Kaiser last year. No, I just feel like you're going to stand pat more. I mean, Tyrod Taylor is good.
In theory, it's actually kind of it seems to me like a complicated thing to juggle. Like, Tyrod is probably better than Baker, performs better than Baker, but if Baker's like close enough and the Browns don't really have a shot at making the playoffs, do you play Baker? That seems like a difficult thing for a head coach to manage. And it seems like a thing that Hugh Jackson is sort of born to just completely screw up. 2 bets I want you guys to pick between. Both are at 2,000 to 1.
Okay.
And they are Josh Allen for MVP.
No.
Or the Pittsburgh Steelers to be the worst team in the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, Josh Allen as MVP seems like literally an impossibility, right? Fair to say.
The roadmap to Josh Allen winning.
It's a Leicester Premier League thing.
It's almost more than that. Because it's... How many starting quarterbacks would have to get hurt by week 5 for Josh Allen? If he plays...
31 of them.
First of all, 2, A.J. McCarron and Nathan Peterman. There's number 2 for you. And then, then the other 31. I mean, there's a scenario here, and it's extremely unlikely. Ben Roethlisberger gets hurt. Le'Veon Bell is not the guy when he shows up on September 1st that he has been in a couple of years. Antonio Brown doesn't really like this whole Mason Rudolph, Landry Jones thing, and somehow they go 3-13. That's the scenario, okay? It's not going to happen. I think the Steelers are going to probably make the playoffs. Ben Roethlisberger is going to be great. He's not going to get benched for Mason Rudolph. But I think that there's a roadmap there. There is no roadmap to Josh Allen.
To be clear, 2,000 to 1, as I said, that's not good odds.
Not good.
Correct.
Last prop.
Yeah.
Rookie class. We have 5 presumed starters. Then you add in a couple of guys who will eventually maybe start down the road, depending on how you view someone like Mason Rudolph. If you look at this class, and you combine their total MVPs for the next 20 years.
Okay.
The over-under is 2.5. Mallory, over-under.
I'm going to say over.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm going to say over.
How does it happen?
Just Lamar every year for the next 2 decades, obviously. But other than that, I think Baker has the potential to be an MVP winning quarterback.
Wow.
I really do. And obviously, Josh Allen is out of the conversation. He's not contributing to this total. But between Baker, Lamar Jackson, Sam Darnold, and Josh Rosen, is it inconceivable that those 4 guys over the course of 20 years between them could win 3 total MVPs? That seems really reasonable to me. You think they're all going to be out of the league in 5 years?
No, I don't. I would go under just because, first of all, I'm not totally sure how many, with the exception of the sort of Dan Marino, John Elway draft class, there's just not a lot of draft classes that produce 3 MVP awards. And, you said...
But you don't need 3 different guys to do it. You just need one guy to do it 3 times. Yeah.
Do you really do think there's a guy in this class who will do that? Who will be a Peyton Manning, Tom Brady type?
Really
Brett
think
Favre
it
type? With
conviction? No, but I see the potential.
Okay. So I'm just going to go under just because it just seems statistically very unlikely. And
you guys are so boring with your conservative takes and your math. Have a little fun. Dream a little. What's the point of investing in the season if we don't think anything is possible?
That's a good emotional investment, great financial investment.
Again, I'm not placing the bet.
It's not even a real bet. We just made it up.
It's emotional capital.
I'm with Kevin. I think Darnold nailed on 2 MVPs for his career.
And nobody else.
But I think it's under, even if all of these guys have 10-year, 12-year, 15-year careers, we're at a point where like all of the quarterbacks are rising up together and they're kind of the same. So I think
it's going to be luck. Luck is going to be involved, not Andrew Luck, the actual
there's one luck, but I think as that happens, as we saw this year, Gurley was in the conversation for MVP. I think it would make sense if all of the quarterbacks are starting to rise to this like 65% completion percentage, great interception turnover ratio. I think we're going to start seeing non-QBs win MVPs over the next 2 decades.
Andrew Luck is a good person to bring up here because if you just look in the last 10 years, the people we think are absolutely MVP candidates, like is Andrew Luck ever going to win the MVP in his life? No. But he was seen as the best prospect ever. Same with Robert Griffin III. We're just getting worse at being able to guess who's going to be a good quarterback in their rookie year.